Right. Welcome back, Jade.
Hey,
I'm about to take your sip
you.
before we sip. She says, shoot, we need to go ahead. I was holding mine too. I was sipping on mine too. Let me put it here. All right, welcome back, Jade.
Thank you.
Vital Credit Solutions. No, wait. Vital
Solutions by Jade, and Vital Solutions Texas.
Yes, all of the above. Well, we were just sitting here just admiring your shoes, right? Like lubes and
so cute.
Well, they are cute, but they're uncomfortable, right?
So hurtful.
Pain is beauty. Pain is beauty. Louboutins, they are the most uncomfortable shoe that any woman could possibly wear. So,
I'm telling you.
How long are you staying in those red bottoms?
5 minutes. You see, I'm sitting only in them. Look, they for show cuteness.
I like to say that they're made for the bed. They're bedroom shoes.
And made to sit and look pretty.
Don't lean over the chair and bruise your arm.
All right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Look, y'all, let's just go ahead and get it started. So let's just look. I'm just going to bring it on in. You know how we like to do. We like to toast before we get started. So let's take a glass and bring it up on 3. Say boss up. 1, 2, 3.
Boss up.
Cheers.
The thrill of victory comes with the agony of defeat. This life ain't for everybody. You don't know what it cost me, but no pressure. No pressure. I was made for this life. No diamonds. Made for this life. No diamonds. No pressure. No diamonds.
So, yes, we're going to go ahead and break this ice real quick because Jaden came up in the place talking about, you got some makeup? I got a bruise on my arm. I said, what did you do to yourself? Did you fall? She was like, yeah, I fell. You want to tell us what happened to your arm?
Ooh.
Who he is. Just tell us.
Listen, he, him, pronoun.
Gotta respect the pronouns. You gotta respect the pronouns.
She was just having a little fun.
She's having a little fun. What happened?
Too much fun. Ooh. Is this PG rated? I mean,
we want to know it all. What happened? How'd you hurt your arm, ma'am?
Ma'am,
She was having fun.
was just doing a little exercising, and I had my arm laid over top of the chair and just kind of rubbed a little bit. And got bruised. That's all.
Dang, beating it up, literally. Beating it up and got a bruise to show
I was like, I bet it didn't hurt while it was going on. Did you feel it?
No,
Like,
I did
no.
not.
Well, he
A couple
is
days
one,
after.
He is one lucky man, I guess. I used to refer to Art as he when we were just in the beginning phases. He had his pronouns too. I'd be like he, him. Oh, he just took me out.
My boo.
I'm
my
with
bag.
him. No, it was never boo or bae. It was he or him.
That's what people do.
He make me feel real good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or like bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bae.
Bae is when you get to the relationship status. It's like, hey, babe. Hey, babe. But when you trying to keep that person, on the low and keep the person disclosed and anonymous, all that confidential, it's he or him. It's new.
That must be a new thing for young people because, he was Nate.
Well,
Was he Nate or was he Natalie?
You might be right.
I'm just saying. Because I thought I was meeting Natalie when you came to North Carolina. That's another story.
That's because I was creeping a little bit.
She knew who had next. Try to tell you.
Had him in the pocket.
It's always good though.
All right, Dawn.
Shout out,
Dawn.
Shout out.
Gotta have the lineup,
Dawn. She said you gotta have the lineup.
Why do women do that though? Why do you, when you know who has next or something, why you gotta change the name of the phone? Because I feel like men do that too, but women, we're just as sneaky. Well, I'm saying not we, but I'm saying not me, because I don't do that. But like we as a woman, like why do you feel the need to change to like Nate in your phone is Natalie, or like you gotta, I don't know, Mike and it's Michelle or something? Why do we do that? Just tell the person.
Yeah, I never really. Well, I personally haven't been in a relationship for 8 years, so I never changed names. It is what it is. So I know what you're saying though. Like they do that, don't they?
Like I feel like women are just as sneaky as men, and it's like, why though? Like if you,
I think we want to make sure that like it's going to be officially over with the other one before we like let that completely go. So it's like, you're like holding on, hoping that they act right, but then they don't. So then you're like, you know what? Natalie just got changed to Nate. Now you got it. You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's just something that people do.
Right. Well, Jade, you actually were with us once before, but we didn't get to get that episode out there. And since then, you've done so much more than just, well, you're a nurse by day. Yeah. And by night. Okay. But you also, so you do credit repair and you have you do taxes and all of that. So I see on your statuses sometimes and on your reels and everything, you're like, I'm bossing up, boss this, boss that. I like to think that like when we first started I Am Boss, we were like, what is a boss to us? So we were kind of like thinking back and forth. I had my point of view of what I thought boss was. It was, just basically staying in my lane. I'm bossing in the lane that I'm in. I'm not telling you to go do what I have, but this is my lane. Right. I'm Black, I'm outstanding female, I'm successful, and, like just that's who I am. Y'all got anything to add to that? Entrepreneurship, sometimes you boss up in that. What does being a boss mean to you?
I kind of, we'll piggyback on what you said. I think just being yourself and being authentic because at the end of the day, you can be a boss in anything you do. You don't have to be a business owner or entrepreneur, but just being yourself and bossing up, like you said, staying in your own lane, being authentic, because then people really kind of resonate with you and then they relate to you way more. Like if you're not out there being yourself and you being funny, they're like, what the hell? What is this? Really but yeah, like I still work a 9 to 5, like you said. So I mean, I'm a boss, but I still work a 9 to 5, and I have businesses. So I mean, you could do both. You could be a full-time entrepreneur and still be a boss. So
I'm not an entrepreneur yet, but I am a boss in what I do, and I think boss is just like being confident, bold, being authentic, like you said, and just being proud of who you are and what you have. Even if you working at McDonald's or you're doing something that's not as boss-like as somebody else, as long as you are confident and proud and holding your own and on your grind and being successful in the lane that you're in, like you said, I think that's boss. But one thing that I feel a lot of people are getting confused with is the materialistic things that come behind being a boss. And social media has a impact on that. Like, yes. She's got a Gucci belt, or she's wearing, a Louis bag, or Versace this, or whatever. She got Louboutins. She was just in Dubai. She's a boss.
I feel like you thought.
I was getting somewhere with that, because like a lot of people could say like, man, she's a boss, but just because I'm sitting at home don't mean I ain't a boss. I mean,
I see that as like, so people will see you doing those things and then they're like, yeah, just the facade of everything that you're doing. They're like, yeah, I'm bossing. I'm gonna go ahead and book this trip, put it on my credit card, then maxed out my credit card. Now I gotta file bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? Like different things like that.
That's not boss.
But people will look at that. But that's what happens with the influence of social media. They see people doing things and then they want to do it.
Trying to keep up.
And not only that, and just like you said, you can make the perception of anything you want online. But one thing I try to do is, like I said, be authentic. Like, you see the highs, but you don't know all the lows I had to go through to be where I am. So if I want to show my progression, I think that's a big word, and being a boss is progression.
I like that word. Say it again.
Because progression.
Yes.
As long as you're making progress, you can be a boss. Like you got to have motion. I think having your own motion is one of the most important things you can do, is have your own motion. But like I said, just because you seeing where I am now, you might have just started following me, but you don't know where I was 5 years ago.
Right.
So,
so don't.
Do people reach out to you and be like, so how do you do this? How do you do that? And that's how, so basically you use all of that for marketing. Yeah. That's what I do. I use it for marketing.
Yeah, and people do. And I get messages all the time. I don't post them as much. Every once in a while I might, but I get a lot of personal inboxes like you just really inspired me, or like, keep up the good work because I've been watching you and things like that. And I'm thinking, like, you don't even know, some days I'm ready to just throw in the towel, and I mean it, like, but that's why I say that, you know, you got to be real and you got to be true to you, because if not, then, I mean, what's the point?
And that's what I think is being a boss. And I say, like, a lot of people look at me and they say, why you post so much? Why you do this? Why you do that? And I don't got much to post, but I post to inspire people. And there are people who slide in my DMs or tell me out like, man, I just love when you post, you know, this or that, because it encourages me. Or when I see you working out, that kind of inspires me to want to get fit. Or I see you with somebody this, I see that with your little belt, and I'm like,
motivation.
Yeah,
but I hate that word.
Keywords.
I don't like little. Don't tell me
belt.
anything I'm doing is little. I don't
right.
like to tell somebody
Listen,
else,
it's big
seen your
Steph
little
over
bins.
here.
Right.
Like, or I see,
Steph, not the little
I don't
one.
care if I drive a Yugo. It's big for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can go get, and the other day I was car shopping, and I posted the G-Wagon. So many people in my body, oh, you got that bag, you going to get. Actually, I did go look at it. Then I saw the price. And then I was like, $300,000? Hell no. I'm going to be living in it. Like,
Man,
does
what?
it come with a bed? I mean, could I get it? Sure. Could I buy tons of houses? Sure. Could I do these things? But I'm staying in my lane.
Right.
Like, I'm not about to go do that and then not knowing where the economy is going or this and that and the next. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's research with that, with all of it. So, yes, I drive my mom van. Do I have to? No. But people are like, I'm going to need you to upgrade your life. But
And
that's
that's
other
being a
people putting their
boss, though.
perception of what they think I need on me. I don't care about a car. That's a liability for me.
But
like,
that's
unless
being
it's
a
in my
boss,
business, we're
though.
going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
That's being a boss and being able to recognize what you should and what you shouldn't do, because being a boss is making those moves and progressing in the right direction,
Decisions.
right?
In your life, you got to be able to make the right decisions for your life. You can't be out here living on someone else's dream,
Right.
or in their lane, so to speak.
So I know that I am not an entrepreneur yet, but every time that I come on the couch, I am learning and trying to grow and eventually go into that area. So with you all being bosses and entrepreneurs, who is your support system? Like, who do you guys turn to get that extra push and motivation that you may need?
So first of all, I would say you definitely need to get a mentor, invest in a mentor, because they're going to save you a lot of time and energy, a lot of pain and tears, because they're going to show you everything they've already done. And you're going to be able to learn from every single mistake that they've already made. So you don't make those same mistakes. You're going to get a jump start. You're going to have a head start when you invest in a mentor. And that's exactly what I did when I first started out in the credit industry. I had a great mentor, and he taught me a whole lot of things. And then as I developed and started, learning more, I have actually 3 mentors. I have more than one. So you can have more than one mentor. It doesn't have to be one person that you're only investing in. And it's like,
Oh, you got to pay for a mentor?
I did. I paid.
In a lot of cases.
Yeah,
What?
a lot
You
of,
pay for your mentor?
It's like, well, let me tell you, it's like the new age college, but you're learning skills and things that you can implement immediately to start making income. It's not like you go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and get in debt with student loans, and then you could barely find a job to even
But
pay
they
them
also
back.
hold you accountable. They make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. They follow up with you. They have like seminars that you go to, and they hold events, and all those people come together. And it's just the energy in the room from other successful
Absolutely.
people who are in that organization. And it just lights a fire under you. And when they're coming with their success stories and what they've done, it really, really, really helps you push your business to the next level. I actually try to get to one at least once a year. You should once a quarter. I remember when you went to the one in Texas, and I was like, you got to tell me and Nate about well, you got to tell me and Nate about that, because the next time we'll go. Because and even though we're not related, like we're not in that type of business at the moment, it was just so that we could feel that energy and get different ideas.
Motivated,
Yes.
inspired. Kayla, who you turn
Absolutely.
to
And I know
for
that,
your support?
So, like she was saying, a mentor is very important. So, me personally, I haven't had a mentor for my business, or, as being a cosmetologist, I have not. But I actually have recently thought about reaching out to a person that I have been like looking up to, inspired by. And she's a very good mentor, and she has a lot of mentees under her. And they all are like being, taught how to run business correctly, taught how to, gauge your clientele, find a niche, and like, just to like kind of like you said, staying in your lane, but gravitate towards like good business, quality products, and just giving good customer service and gaining, you know, unique clients that are like uniquely for you, basically. But me and my husband, we had a mentor for our real estate endeavors, which was great. I found that like he literally like knew everything. So it was good to like look up to someone, to go to someone if we had issues, if we had problems. We knew how to like talk to him, where to talk to him, where to find him at. And basically he pretty much taught us all the ropes that we needed to know to flip houses, about numbers, about making the numbers count, about literally like everything that we needed to know. Yes, properties, the people to actually put the work into the properties. Right. So it was a lot of learning, but a lot of like good quality learning. I can actually say like that was probably the best thing that happened to us, and we literally learned so much that we could literally go and do it on our own if we wanted to.
And I feel like mentorship is something that is extremely important, especially in our community, where you may see someone doing something and they might not be as willing to show you the ropes or teach you because they're thinking, I know we talked about this last episode, that they are thinking that you might try to do something like theirs, or you're trying to emulate what they have, or well, if you're doing that, then you might try to take my clientele or something. But mentorship is just the roadmap. And because we weren't raised to really understand or know how to progress in certain directions as a culture,
race.
As a race,
we've always been put against each other.
Yeah,
light skin, dark skin.
Yeah.
So you know, when it comes to supporting our businesses with each other, we always look at it as competition.
Right.
And
Right.
it's not.
And it shouldn't be like that.
And
I literally,
I give them the information.
Right. I literally watched a podcast maybe like 3 days ago, and it was so funny. She talked about how, you know, us as like Black people in the Black culture, we don't support each other, and how basically we would go to someone's small business as a Black person and then complain about their small business, when actually you have to be in the thick of things with the person too. That's how you get to the support level. So then you do something good for me and you support me, I'm gonna bring it back tenfold to you to help you, because we don't have anyone in our culture who's helping us. Again, like we are the ones who, in this generation, we are the first of our family to be entrepreneurs or to run businesses. And so basically like we're hurting each other by not supporting each other every single day.
And if you look at areas like that have predominantly African Americans, so let's say like Atlanta or Houston, which is really big, even just in the, like, I look at like fitness and people that are working out, and how I see like so many women in the gym that look like me. I'm like, man, I want that. Like, I wish we had a community like that around here that just uplifted each other and worked out like, sis, I see you, or whatever.
That's because out there, there are a whole lot of different cultures, and those women have big bones. They got big butts. They got boobs. We're out here where we're from. It's all about being super skinny and being very thin, and fit means very thin and athletic looking, right?
Is that true?
I mean,
because I see a lot of BBLs around here.
Out here?
A lot of people are going to get them BBLs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm team flat booty. I want a flat ass. I want to start over. Take me back to 2000 when my back looked like my butt and my butt looked like my back and my back looked like my stomach. Listen. I want to start over. But there are some women walking the streets of Market with a BBL. Am I right or am I wrong?
I think it's okay. I don't care.
BBL or nah, Jade? Would you get a BBL?
I'm torn in between the two. On the real, because like, okay, it looks nice, and like I feel like I got a pretty decent shape, but if I just had them,
you sitting, you poking,
sucked in a little bit more or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, but damn, I want to stay natural, because it's different nowadays. Being natural is like make you stand out more than having a BBL, because everybody got it done nowadays.
But having a BBL versus natural, could that hurt your body? Could that hurt your business as a boss or as a?
I don't think so.
Would it enhance it?
I think
because I think me walking around with a BBL as a school counselor, that ain't gonna be good.
Right. It definitely depends on what like, profession you're in, like dancers and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's gonna make them more money, you know.
But as a realtor or a a cosmetologist,
realtors out there.
Cosmetologist, I would definitely benefit from it. Sorry,
a fat butt, you would benefit.
Yeah, because people literally they literally come to you because of like what things look like. Yeah. So if you look the part, they feel like you will make them look the part. It's kind of the same thing. Like they literally are like pretty much like guinea pigging off of you and your personal like.
Well, I know with hair, whatever you do with your hair, I'll be wanting it.
When you sell things, people want to look like you or be like you in all the different things. And when you're marketing yourself, and so I think a lot of times people get plastic surgery. I'm for it. I mean, I've had work done. Not a BBL. I probably could have used one because the ass is really flat. But
it's sagging. It's wide. No, it's not. It's wide. It's not. You look great.
It's wide. Stop. But I'm saying that like when I looked at, there was this show on Netflix, The Realtors on there. They were, they were all done up. They were going out to these houses, and like the one girl was like, "This is a pool. You could do so many things in this big." Were they Tampa? I'm thinking like, no, listen. That is not how real estate goes. I gotta come in sneakers because you never know, a rat might crawl across my foot.
What you telling?
I'm just saying, like in general, like you got to get down and dirty sometimes in my business. It's not all pretty and fancy. I try to show the fancy, but typically I forget, and I'll show more of the worst things because I like to think that a lot of people that are in this area, from where I live at anyway, not in other areas that I sell, but they can benefit from buying that diamond in the rough, fixing it up, and then, living in it or whatever. So I like showing that part, but I see other realtors online and they done up and then they got whole camera crews.
And it's all at the end of the day, let's just say sex sells. I mean, it's always been that way. It's like a image, sex sells. But like I said, I mean, I kind of just think that it all depends on what industry you in. Some people is going to enhance it. Some people is not really.
So would he like the BBL?
I'm sure he probably would.
So you're not going to release who
he said it would look nice on me, but
can he pay for it exactly? Who is this he?
I'm not ready for it right now. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
she's a boss.
But I also said, listen, I mean, if I decided, he could go ahead and pay. I mean,
she is not going to tell us who this he is. She is sticking to it.
But listen, I said one thing I said is like, today everybody's fixing their bodies, but they're not fixing their souls.
Exactly. So, say that. I like that.
It's like, okay, yeah, you got the body done up, but what's the inside like? If you don't have that inner confidence, like you don't really love yourself, what is you doing? You just get more unwanted attention that you don't want anyway.
And I like that. Fixing your soul. And that's something that I'm actually focused on. I don't know if a lot of people don't know, because Toya, you say this too. Like, we was at a happy hour last week and you were saying how people say that you always look happy and they really don't know the behind the scenes or whatever. Well, a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes with me. I do struggle with body image issues, and people will look at me and be like, well, why? Like, you're this size, you're perfect. No. After having a child and going through the things that I've gone through, my body has changed. And I have recently found myself in a negative headspace to where if I even look in the mirror, like, I just don't like what I see. So literally, I'm new to this. I started last week, but I started doing like, I don't think my husband knows this, but I started like really taking the diet thing serious and working out, but speaking life over myself and really saying like positive things. Like, I'm not going to tell y'all what I say because that's my business. But like, I literally say, but today, like in the mirror, like I went shopping to get a pair of jeans, and I like cried in the fitting room because I actually liked what I was looking at. And I was like, okay, I see it. Okay, but and it hasn't been like that for me, like for a while. Like, even my husband gets tired of it because I'm like, oh, don't post that, I look fat. Like, I'm like, do I have body dysmorphia? Like, am I really like going crazy? But today it's storming, y'all. But today God was like, yes, sis, I'm healing you. It's like, nah. But today was the first time that I actually looked at myself and was like, I like what I see or whatever. Like, it's not that bad, but fixing yourself. You can cover yourself up with plastic surgery. I could easily go. I'll get the implants, get a butt,
That's not
get
easy.
it tucked.
It's actually hard. It's kind of tough. You go through a lot. I'm not saying I got a BBL, but you know, I work out a lot, and I had 3 children, and everything looked exactly the way that I wanted it to look, except for the bottom part of my stomach from the 3 C-sections. And at the end of the day, I made the decision because no gym was fixing that. I've had people tell me, I can fix it. I've done all kinds of things, spent all kinds of money. Nothing happened. I got a tummy tuck in November. I should have done it years ago. I don't know what I waited for. If it's something that you want to do, you should just go ahead and do it. I don't think that like I changed myself. I made myself better. And like you said a second ago, yes, women go through a lot, especially when you have children, and we have to sit here and talk with ourselves and have all these things, but we had babies. And luckily, you know, us who have husbands or you're in a relationship, people like Nate didn't care if I had the fupa, but I cared. So, you know, he accepted that, but it made me insecure. So I saw an article online about after having babies, how women take about 1 to 3 months before they're ready to be intimate again or feeling comfortable with that. You guys are newer moms than Jade and I, but as a single woman, you've had 2 babies and not with the person you're with, apparently, right? Like, you know, with your baby daddy. I know. That's my sister-in-law.
He
I know.
is not the baby daddy.
And he is not your kid's father. But, like, if y'all could just touch on, because my kids is old. Me and Nate is getting it in. We ain't bruising things. I got to next level. But I got to get bent over that chair.
Oh, anyway, wow. You got plenty. Plenty. Pick one.
But y'all are new moms pretty much, and you're a single woman. How is intimacy after marriage and then kids and then being single, going back out there? Any one of y'all can start.
Kayla.
Go ahead.
I don't have a problem with like intimacy. Steven really doesn't have a problem either. He don't care. He does not care. Okay, we getting it in. Okay,
Either with way. The baby.
Yeah.
On vacation.
He don't sleep in your. He doesn't sleep in your bed.
No. So
That's
that was another thing with me. I felt like and you know, it's different because like I slept in my parents' bed for so long, me and both my brothers for so long. When I say so long, I mean like literally middle school, y'all. Like middle school. Like
your husband was
like,
the same way. That's probably how y'all bonded.
This is exactly
Sorry,
why
Steven, but you were. Steven used to sleep on the floor.
Yes.
My kids did that.
Making a tent and stuff. Too. Like, boy, if you don't go in your room.
I was like, no, like literally,
grade.
I did see a lot of articles and like just a lot of research about like how intimacy is not the same, how you don't get the same quality time with your partner or whatever. So I was like, look, he cannot sleep in the bed with us. Steven tried a couple times, but I think he also realized that, yeah, like if he has like a structured bedtime, like he's gone and like we can do, you know, our thing. Like we can watch our shows together. Like we can, you know, do the things that we can do the things that we need to do. And like we're good. We don't have any problems with that or any issues with that. So it was never really a big thing for us. Of course, right now we're not really doing much, but you know.
Why is that? Of course.
Because I had to have surgery.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
My bad.
So I did have a miscarriage. So we had to have the surgery. So you know you gotta wait a long
y'all
time.
Struggling? Are you doing other things to please your man?
Intimacy is other things.
Having other intimate moments.
We know.
No, because just there's been so much going on. So honestly, it has been a lot of things going on. So we really haven't even been focused on it, honestly. But
well, condolences to you guys.
I mean, it'll be fine.
A hard time.
It'll be fine. I mean,
but intimacy. I can't get it out. Intimacy. Intimacy.
Sound like nerd.
Intimacy. Sorry. Shut up. Intimacy is
it's
more
not
than
sex,
just sexual,
yeah.
though. Like, I need you to
You have
stimulate
that
my
connection.
mind. You know, give me head. Like, you know, give me head where you massage my scalp.
Do we
like,
take the wig off for massage?
Yes, massage my scalp. Yes, with the Meek Mills. Like, when he massages my scalp and I got Meek Mills cornrows, that is intimacy. Please? But I'm not going to lie. My intimacy has decreased since having a kid. Art would want it. 7 days a week, every day, bend me over, bruise my neck type sex. But not maybe bruise the neck, but he does like to have sex. Where me, I'm like, okay, can we just, like, we did it last night, you gotta do it again. I do that because at one point I was not happy with myself. So therefore you are, however you feel, that's a reflection in the bedroom, I think. So if I'm not feeling confident within myself and I'm not happy with what I see, I expect you to feel that way. So you tell me I'm beautiful, you tell me I'm this, but I'm like, no, I don't see that. But as of last night, the intimacy is back.
Oh, child.
I stay kicking that leg up. But no, I made a promise to myself. I'm not going to like withhold sex. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it because, that's important. And that is what keeps the connection in the flame.
But men be thinking we be holding out on it.
I don't. I be tired though.
Like, I have a different perspective from both of y'all because y'all are both married. I wasn't married, never been married when I had my children. But you about to be and I was young when I had my first child. I was 19, almost 20 years old, and my body totally changed. Like, I got the whole stretch marks, loose skin, the whole 9 yards. Diastasis recti that cannot be fixed with exercise. You had to have surgery. So it was a big thing for me for a long time, and even at the time, the person I was with, like, it like bring that up. It was an issue, and so that took a lot of
It was an issue for him?
Lot of mental toll on me.
Aww.
So it took a long time for me to really be comfortable with it. Like, now I don't give a hell if you don't like it. Oh, well, you ain't for me. That it is what it is. Like, I had children from it, and then after I was out of that relationship, I wasn't dealing with anybody for 3 years. I was actually abstinent for 3 years. It took a lot of self-searching and social. That's why, say people see stuff on social media where you are now. They don't know the things and struggles you've been through. Right. So it took a lot for me to be comfortable in my own skin. And like you said, intimacy is not just the physical of it, but the mental aspect. And if you're, being felt like, well, your body's not good enough for somebody, like that right there is going to tear you down.
Right.
So I get both perspectives or whatever, what you guys are saying, but also what Latoya said about her deciding to, have the surgery because it was for her, and she worked out and she did everything she wanted to do, but she just didn't look the way she wanted to look. So
I say never let anybody tell you anything about you that's negative. If somebody is commenting on something that's negative about you, that's because they're self-reflecting.
I think
and
so.
They're not happy with something within them because hurt people.
And that's true.
So, but they don't understand the effect that it puts on another person.
Absolutely.
So kudos to you that you're able to now be comfortable in your own skin, because you're a grown woman now.
Exactly.
And
I was a baby.
Then.
I was 19, 20 years old, and my barely adult. They say that's an adult, but that's not, still a baby. And so that was a lot for me to be going through that.
But you know what that is? That's boss.
Yeah.
You
know what?
That progression.
But people say oh, that's a strong, you're strong. You're a strong Black woman. Why does it always have to be labeled as we're strong? Because that strength comes from a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. It's trauma behind that word, being a strong Black woman. I don't want to be labeled as that. I want to be able to let
weak, honey.
Yes,
pick
honey.
me up.
Pick me up.
And that's the thing.
Me. I can't do that. Oh, build that. I can't.
Yes, let me tell you about submission. When you're being submissive to the right one, you have more power over them when you're being submissive. Some women don't get it, especially in our culture. They gotta be the tough ones, because they've been through so much hurt and pain, like you said. But honey, that pain taught me more than any pleasure has ever, and I'm grateful for everything I went through. And listen, I'm ready to be submissive to him.
Hey, to him. I thought we was gonna get a name. So Jade, so we know you do the vital solutions, the tax credit, all that, and I'm an educator, so we broke out here. I make a little something. But are we headed into a recession or not? Because I need to be prepared.
Yes. I absolutely say yes.
You think so?
I agree.
Yes, that's why I'm going to go ahead and get me a job. A 9 to 5, okay? I need stability plus the hustle,
so
okay?
I'm going to just, you can tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong. Right now, we need to be stockpiling money. Don't be out here. I did go look at vehicles, big ones too. I was looking.
You did Range Rovers, G-Wagons.
I was just last week, but I'm looking.
Teslas.
I am window shopping so that when we hit the recession, we come out of it. I will be prepared to get what I want, because then that's when the stepping is really going to happen.
Absolutely.
So how does one prepare? Give me 5 steps, because I need
you
to
have
stack
to
the money.
Stockpile money. Definitely.
And not only that, but okay, say you're window shopping and you do get a car. To most people, that's a liability, but you can easily turn it into asset. And if you're going to do those type of things, make sure it's something that's going to bring you that income back in. There's ways, I know I've talked about it before, like Toro. There's different ways you can, all right, I want this car. It's sexy. It's everything. Let me rent it out a little bit. I make a little money. And that's where a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, came up during COVID, during the whole pandemic, 2020, because they were being very creative in coming up with new ideas to make income. They had to, right? A lot of people lost their jobs, laid off, whatever, couldn't go to work. They had to make money. You still have a family. You got to survive. So that's the mentality that we have to, have, is like, all right, well, I know this is coming up. Let me prepare. Like Latoya said, what can I do? Get creative with it. What's something you're good at that people would like or enjoy, or a service or whatever that you can make some income off
So
of?
as a person who has a 7:30 to 4, somebody who has a job, right? I don't even know my hours, because I definitely don't work 7:30. I think it's 8 to 4. There we go. Somebody who has a job with stability or whatever, and I want to make a little extra money. So are you saying like start a side business to stack that extra money? What if
some type of hustle?
Look at your budget. Sit down and like really write out your budget and see where your money's going. Get your bank statements, get your paycheck stubs, and then look where you're spending money. Do you have Hulu, Tubu, Tafu, whatever, all those little things in order to get TV service? Minimize that. That's extra money that don't need to go out, because guess what? If my girlfriend got Amazon Prime, I don't own Amazon Prime. I use hers.
You borrow,
they putting a stop to that.
No,
Netflix and it. Yes, they are.
I don't know
Netflix.
how.
Really? Oh, wow.
I got an old plan.
Netflix,
if they see
they
you
are.
logged in multiple locations,
because
they're
I do
charging
share
you.
my
You gotta
Netflix.
pay. You pay for different, like
Somebody
3 or
just
5
hacked
or
into
something.
my Netflix, and
I
I had
share
to get
mine with
and I had
all
shared
of
it with
mine,
my family too, my parents and my kids and
You
everything.
gotta pay for that part.
But
if you
no,
wanna
what
share
I'm
it,
saying,
but
somebody hacked into it.
Yeah.
Like they was logging in from the Philippines, changing all the names to whatever their
Wow.
wow,
that's
But yeah, no,
all
for
that.
you,
So
cut back on some of the things that you're spending,
I know.
because those things are not important.
Yeah, Art.
You know,
Art
you don't
just
need
made
25 pairs of shoes.
Art just made. Don't attack me. We are helping the people here, not me.
No, I'm saying people, not you.
Art made a budget for me the other day. He was
Well,
like, "This
it's
is what we're
y'all.
gonna do," but it's for us.
Oh,
So like
okay,
he broke
not
his
just
down.
your
No,
stuff.
it was
It's both y'all
it was
stuff.
both of us together or whatever, something to get us, because we're trying to buy a home.
Right.
So trying to get us to the next level with that. So he did make a budget, and it looks doable. I'm gonna start on August.
So
29th.
I always
having
like
a
to say
budget.
too. So yes, definitely go into your budget, look at those things, sit down with someone like Jade who can teach you how to pay off some of your debt if that's what your credit score needs. But you got to actually look at it, because sometimes paying off your debt is not what you need. She also can help people on how, when they do start a business, because you should
Business
have a
credit.
business.
I do
yeah.
want one.
Yeah.
You
and
have
if-
one.
And
You
that's
have one, you
another
just
way
haven't
to
solidified.
hide your debt to income ratio, especially if you're going to buy. Putting stuff on the business side doesn't show up on your personal side. I bought my car in my business name. $50,000 car doesn't show up on my personal credit.
Right.
That's how you hide your debt. You
She
have to
helping
learn
me get
how
my
to
business credit up, girl.
Yeah.
That
And Jade about to help me too.
Cheers.
So
Getting
what?
that
So
business
you're willing
credit
to
up.
help people.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is we are
That's
going
what
to have
Jade
an
does.
I Am Boss Day where people will come and sit with us. And so how can
We'll be a
people-
panel.
We'll be a
can do a
panel.
panel.
And if you're
should
interested,
do. We could
comment under this and we will get that plan. And it's coming September 2020
Yes.
too, honey.
I
Right?
already got it.
Yes.
So I don't know. I just made it up because we're gonna put that in the air manifestation, right?
Yeah.
So we are headed to a recession. It sounds like, and I definitely don't want any parts of that. So if you are somebody who's scared to start that business, I have friends who are like, "Oh, I'm scared to jump out there." This is the year.
And I
Yeah.
think
The
at
time.
this point, it's like sacrifice too. Like you
Yeah.
have to like really, if you're that person that spends a lot of money, you might have to sacrifice. And you might have to cut back. You might have to do what you have to do for you and your family if that's what
I
you
agree.
have. Like I said, I'm honestly like probably about to go back and work a regular job. I'm still going to be doing hair. My hours will just change, but I know that's what I feel that I need to do so that in 2 years, whatever the case is, we are where we want to be and need to be. Because
I think a lot of people just are afraid to work.
Have to do those things.
That's
sometimes
progression.
You got to have a full time.
Yeah,
to
sometimes
fund your,
you have
You got a 9 to 5 to fund your 5 to 9.
And let me
you know
be
what I mean?
real with you. Let me be real with you. Business, let's go back to social media, and they make everything look good. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak at all. It's not easy. It's actually easier to go clock in and clock out at a 9 to 5, just show up and you still get paid. You got to put a lot more effort and work into it when you're an entrepreneur, and people don't show that. A lot of people want the riches, they want the millions, but they don't want to put in that work.
That's me. I just want to hit the lotto.
And it is great to have the freedom to go as you please, or pretty much have the option to do those things and the flexibility. But at the same time, you got to make sure that also works.
I don't have that in my job. I'll be on vacation and I'll be MIA from everybody. Y'all know we was just on vacation and I'm in the room for 2 hours.
Yeah. But that's where that work-life balance comes into place.
I mean, don't nobody want to hear that in my job. Yeah. When things got to get done, it got to get done. Well, you got to be available.
I guess that's different people.
But that's the thing. After this, if the recession hits, after that, I'll be ready to get that assistant. I'll be ready to start that team. I'll be ready to go.
That's what I was going to say. You have to start getting teams and delegating stuff. That's how you actually expand and get ahead in business, because you have to start delegating stuff, automating a lot of things. And I'm still working on that myself, automation, because it's just like working a 9 to 5 if you're self-employed, because if you're not there doing the work, you don't get paid. Just if you don't show up for work. But when you start being able to automate stuff, you start hiring people, you delegate.
What does automate mean?
You don't have to physically be there doing it. Another thing they don't tell you is a lot of times the first few years in business, the income, because you're investing it all back in. And if you're not investing it back in, you're never going to grow.
Well, you guys can be a realtor, because it don't work like that in real estate. You make your money.
But I see that.
It's really a small investment that you make. Is a lot of time. So you're putting in a lot of sweat equity rather than financial. And it can be money driven, but it doesn't have to be anymore with the way that we have everything set up. But we can talk about that another
Everybody's
time,
business seems different. Y'all each
everything is different.
You each are bosses in your own lane, and y'all all are doing something different. But as a person here who really does y'all inspire me to want to step out.
And really for real, the recession is really coming. So I feel like everyone just needs to sit down, get a budget plan in place, figure out your bills, what your bills are, what your income is, how to cut things in half.
And how can we find you? How can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at vitalsolutions_Jade, or I'm on Facebook, Jade Thomas. So just look
and
at me
surround yourself with people who are like-minded.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm not like-minded. We're not the same, but we all tap into each other's strengths and weaknesses to help each other. So surround yourself with a good group of girlfriends, grab a cocktail, and start manifesting and working and have sex on it.
And even girls that have different opinions and stuff. Because I say this all the time. I'm like, this works for us because we're all literally different. We all have something different. We all do not think the same at all. Right. And so I literally learn from one person and take stuff from other people.
And that's what
life's
about.
I feel like that's what it's about. Connecting with other people and just learning from each other.
Yeah. And that's what we need to bring to the area.
Right.
I feel like at least I always look at other places like Georgia, Texas. We're going to start that right here in Frederick. Jade, you're going to be a part of that. Latoya, you're going to be a part of that. Kayla's going to be a part of that. Rel's going to be a part of that. We're going to be there. I'm going to be tipsy, and we're going to have great time. Right?
That's right.
Might need to pour her up another drink because it looks gone. But
no, I'm not even tipsy. I'm kidding. But Jade, it's been a pleasure having you here with us. We always like to catch up with you, and we hope he continues to treat you well. And the next time you come with us, you will be married to him, who will have a name.
To the wedding,
right? Because we're going to have the wedding turned up because we family, right?
I'm in the wedding.
So,
and I mean, I'm just going to say this. If y'all didn't learn anything from this episode, you might want to go back, rewind, subscribe, watch it twice, 3 times.
Share
because
it.
I learned a lot from this episode, just from everyone's opinions and what they feel about being a boss and what we can do now that the recession's on the rise. So,
main thing is just, stay in your lane, do what makes sense for your life and for your pockets, and just be authentic, and definitely love yourself, do things that feed your spirit, not just all the physical. And if you want the BBL, girl, go get it.
Right. Do what you want. Because
That's right.
What you
All
say,
about
feed
you.
your soul.
No, don't just fix your body, fix your soul.
There we go.
Fix
We're
your
going to end with that.
soul.
Fix your body, fix your soul. You won't break my soul.
Hey,
Hey,
boss
you won't break